places that provide these services are in it for the industrial complex. Because Medi-Cal, Medicare, whatever it is, when you go on hospice, I am told you can make up to $1 million per person. And there are a lot of people, and this is what Nick Shirley is trying to point out. You've got 100 of these hospice places in one single building, and you knock on the doors, nobody answers them. In fact, when the blinds are cracked open, there's no furniture inside of them. They are completely empty. And they are getting millions of dollars from the state of California for nothing. It's fraud. So while we have places that are legit and provide very good services for people and their loved ones in a time of need, there are also places that are scamming the system.
Yeah, to me, this is not a critique of the hospice industry. You know, we've all encountered this, and they can be lifesavers, no doubt about it. This is a critique of the state of California, the distribution of money and their accountability for money, which doesn't seem to exist. And that's why I see in their minds, they are a distribution network to people they deem to be friends of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to get that money to them, and it's all about distribution of money to all kinds of people. Just go down the chain. You know, you want to know that if there's a hospital for what happened to that. I call me and say, we have to fill out reports all the time. I don't know. Explain this building to me. Explain how a building like this, with dozens of hospice agencies in one building, they can't find any humans. How does that happen? Maybe somebody's writing reports. I guess you have to apply for the money. Doesn't mean you're actually running anything. You can say, you can make up names, you can say, I didn't run anything. You can say, you can make up names, you can say, I did this and that. Does anybody ever check? It doesn't sound like it. You know, and apparently a lot of people understand this. You know, in Minnesota, we have the Somali community, they all understood it. You know, they understood how to get into this. You know, Governor Newsom is not interested in Nick Shirley.
No, he's not. In fact, Nick Shirley was on Fox News. Was it last night or the night before last? Talking about this. So, you know, instead our governor would rather troll him on social media than actually say, maybe there's something going on.
Maybe I should check this out.
I should send somebody to check it out.
Yes, the governor of California is an enemy to the people of California. He's literally working to support the fraudsters. Meanwhile, he could be working to expose the fraud. I mean, how stupid you have to be to say, okay, let's go after the guy who exposed all fraud. That's not each and every single day when he makes out these statements, all he does is blames the people who are showing the fraud. Why doesn't he say, hey Nick, great video, how can we help, right?
But he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like, you know, when there's some all this stuff in Minnesota and you're a racist for bringing it up, or you're going after the community. Here he's mocking, you know, Nick Shirley.
Right, because he's looking at hospice centers and daycare centers. One of the daycare centers, you know, there was two little kids playing outside, and he asked, you know, the kids, could you go get your teacher? And they said, they looked at him like he was crazy. What teacher are you talking about? He said, well, any adult, is there any adult home? And they said, no, there's no adult here. These were young little kids.
A daycare center with two people, two kids.
Yeah,
and no human, no adults.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what he's talking about. I mean, it's just like, somebody should check that out. But you know, I asked co-pilot about this, right?
Okay.
Is California doing anything about this Nick Shirley stuff?
And?
California has not launched any formal investigation or enforcement action in response to Nick Shirley's allegations. Instead, the state's public response has been to dismiss, mock, or criticize his claims.
Yep, that's true.
So don't even bring up fraud, waste, and abuse in California because they don't care.
490-5858, it's 10:30. Let's take a check of the news on KMJ.
KMJ News now. Up in Northern California. California labor communities are hit hard after sexual assault charges against American labor leader and civil rights activist Cesar Chavez came to light. Fox TV affiliate KTVU Fox 2 in San Francisco's Jesse Gary is in San Jose with the story.
Across the state and South Bay, workers, advocates, politicians reacting to charges by Dolores Huerta that Cesar decades ago and may have sexually assaulted young girls. U.S. House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi writes, reported by the United Farm Workers about Cesar Chavez. Uphold the values of dignity and justice in the face of